Definitely a combo that I feel like suits GIANTX very well. I feel like when GIANTX needs to play more slow, more calculated, they usually struggle. They like to have one solid game plan and go all in on it. As Mbessa being banned out, as you said, Vedi, and Mundo as well, we've been seeing a whole lot. And in general, these flex picks, you might not think it, but Mbessa now a flex in the top jungle, same with the Mundo. So just taking those out to deny any flex possibility from Team Heretics.
And Sheo has been no stranger to prioritizing that Mundo early on. 5 games played on the champion. We saw last week he picked it early. It did lead them into some tricky spots in terms of the overall draft, so see what the adjustment is with that taken away, alongside both the Pantheon and the Jhin. So a lot of these early proactive junglers, not you Mundo, but these other two, taken off the board. Shutting down Isma to a certain degree. We talked about Jhin's Bard not really being great. Isma had a pretty sloppy Jarvan game, but I think it's kind of true for both sides. Again, we're hoping for that clean reset, that glow up. What can change in a week? How much can you improve? And one other champion that was synonymous for Noah with Noah for so long is the Varus, the lethality Varus. When he played on Fnatic, something he brought out so consistently and had a pretty massive impact on him.
Yeah, I'm honestly shocked that they gave him Varus. Clearly Heretics have a plan, because even though there have been changes to Varus over the last few patches, I still feel like he is the top dog when it comes to AD carries. The amount of power that he provides in the bot lane 2 versus 2 is ridiculous. Jhin is one of the few AD carries that can answer him, but paired alongside the Rumble, Heretics I think already have a solid foundation.
Yeah, I really like the Jhin Rumble answer. I also feel like at first, when Varus got buffed, I was thinking, okay, he's S tier, Exodia. And then we saw some meddling Varus performances where Jhin actually ended up coming on top. And Ice on Jhin, it's a match made in heaven. Jhin Rumble with the combo, although Taliyah Vi is another classic as well that GIANTX is building.
Honestly, the simplicity of this draft, how straightforward it is and how powerful it is, really sets GX, I think, up for success. Jhin Rumble is a fantastic combo. We've seen it a lot, the long range to support an equalizer and a curtain call can bring, but it's definitely a little bit trickier to play. Now, this option is an interesting one because suddenly we're looking right back at the Rumble flex. This is something that we've seen before. These two champions together, the willingness from Team Heretics to put the Rumble in the jungle if it's going to work for them.
You're exactly right, because this was the exact picks, I believe, that Team Heretics had against KC. They gave KC the Varus, and then they picked the Jhin Rumble into it, and they ended up flexing the Rumble all the way to 5th pick, and they also had Aurora in the mid lane, so they're trying to recreate that success they found against KC. We'll see how it goes.
It does feel like Heretics are leaning on the formulas that have found success for them so far this split, and Mundo I think being one of those key that GX choosing to take away very early on in the draft. As we move to the second half, supports are becoming very much the priority. With both AD carries locked in, our attention turns towards where will this engage come from? Alistair taken off the board, Nautilus alongside it. Things like Leona and Rel naturally rise in priority with these gone. But also we've been seeing a prevalence of range support in the current meta. Nami in particular has been quite strong. We saw the Seraphine yesterday, not quite able to pull off the comeback, but still can be quite oppressive in both the laning phase and has fantastic scaling.
No surprise to see the Nico banned away. Of course, kind of, I feel like the creme de la creme of bot lane support picks. Wins you so many matchups, still has all that engage, all that additional utility. And we'll see if it's going to be another engage option taken away, limiting some of the potential pool. But it's a tough ban for GX, because if you overcommit to the bot lane bans, maybe this Rumble can go top lane. It's a really tough one. Team Heretics also have the luxury of last pick here, so the flex is doing a lot of work in this draft in terms of disrupting any potential plans that GX have.
Yeah, I do think for the support pool, we're just going to probably see like a melee support handshake, would be my guess. I'm more curious what GIANTX will choose to blind pick in top lane, because they know that the Rumble is a flex. They won't be caught off guard like KC was. So do they decide to just go for something like the Sion anyways, that's safe and good into the Rumble? And then if so, what does Tracyn have cooking?
Con the choice, so some proactive engage definitely pairs nicely with what they have so far, but not the most lane dominant champion. Good against a lot of the engaged supports because you can just get that free healing, but there's a bit of a debate if Jhin does want to pull out the Bard. Not so great against the Aurora and Rakan, but really good into the Jhin, especially the Rumble as well, pretty vulnerable to that Tempered Fate.
I mean, it buys a lot of time. You can always ult your own carries if they're getting engaged on. And it's a pretty standard here. They're getting the front line from top in the Sion with that range support. I'm really curious what they decide to do with this Rumble. You kind of feel like you need more setup, I feel like, for Team Heretics. And with Mbessa being banned out, there's not that much firepower in top lane, I'd say, into the Sion. So I would assume they're just going to put the Rumble top and give Sheo a bruiser, but they really have a lot of options here. We'll see what they go for.
Oh. Nocturne locked in, and really I like it because when you take a look at this GX composition, it can be really good at fighting front to back, but the Taliyah and the Varus very vulnerable to the sheer combination of R buttons that Team Heretics assembled.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of threat onto the Varus. That makes sense, but I feel like it's very committal for a comp that's inherently very squishy. Heretics, on paper, to me, their composition is just harder to pull off because you need a great deal of coordination. The ultimates need to be in sync. And also, like, once you're in, you're not getting out. So if you fumble that execution, then I feel like GX with the range, in theory, that they should have, the poke that they're going to have available, things like the Bard to disengage, potentially re-engage. GX have a lot of tools to turn fights around.
Yeah, when you're cooking for your life, you just keep it simple. You know, steak, medium rare. You don't need to go out there and start trying to sous vide or do whatever and start implementing all these new techniques. But respect to Team Heretics, the flex is a flex. They were willing to put it back to the top lane. They brought the Nocturne to the jungle. But I agree, this is way more complicated. This is way more difficult. In an elimination game, that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself.
I mean, it's a shotgun comp, right? Wasn't that what you called it, Vedi? I mean, it's all in. If they kill Noah, and probably they need to kill Jackies as well with all their ultimates, then it'll work out. And if they don't, they're going to have a real tough time going up the front line of GIANTX. And I do have to agree with you, Vedi. I think that the simplicity of this GIANTX comp, they can both engage, but they can also choose to play it slow if they want to, makes them have a lot more opportunities in this game.
Well, here we are getting into the first game of the series. GX and Team Heretics both losing 0-2 in the first round, now find themselves in the lower bracket. Loser will be eliminated here, but we talked about waiting for level 6s for the potential ulti combos. That's a late game thing. What are we looking at early game?
Well, we're looking at a level 1 invade, which has gone horribly wrong.
How did that stun? Shout out Bard Q. And shot it straight at him with no wall standing behind him.
Sheo now goes back into his jungle, a sad individual with 50% of his HP. So this probably won't affect Nocturne too much. Generally, his solo clear is completely fine, especially with all the jungle changes that came in this year. I think he'll not struggle too much, and I'm not expecting a Vi at level 2 to do any sort of crazy invade. So at the end of the day, not the end of the world, but like I've been thinking more about this comp because like I'm very interested. And the one thing I think I can say with certainty is that there's no Varus out there that's excited to play against this comp.
That's
right?
true. That's true. It's like your solo queue worst nightmare.
There has never been a Varus. Maybe top lane Varus.
Yeah.
At, you know,
at best.
At best.
But most of them are like, so hang on, let me just get this straight. I've got a Nocturne flying at me, and then a guaranteed Rumble ultimate on my head. And if those two things don't kill me, there's a Rakan there as well.
The Nocturne ult into the Aurora ult, you're literally playing 5-9 at Freddy's. You're just the rabbits coming out of the darkness and you're dead.
But all I can imagine is the comms from Noah is he breathes a deep sigh and he goes, I'm getting Sonya's third, guys. You guys probably won't, but it would be great.
Honestly,
I think you should definitely look for it. Like, like it's not bad. It's not
People
bad.
like the meme, but like Varus does use the AP pretty well. They obviously reworked every single AD champion to have some AP ratios for Ginsu's, but yeah, Varus, you know, not the worst. So we found the niche scenario where we get a Seekers at the very least onto Noah. But again, it's level 6. There's so much time. I think there's sometimes matchups against Nocturne where you're like, oh, well, the enemy jungler has to do something in the early game before Nocturne gets 6. He's playing its 5.
Yeah.
It's just handshake, farm power hour, you know? Who can get a little bit of lane pressure? Well, right now it's Team Heretics, but not a whole lot else is happening.
Yeah, across the board in terms of early prio, top going slightly in favor of GX, but that bounce back, it doesn't really matter much. We can forget top for a while. Mid, Jackies is the one that has...
You can say the same for every lane.
No. But mid is the more interesting one, just because I think getting information on what the enemy jungler is doing is super important. And also contesting those early crabs is also something we need to keep track of, because bear in mind, most junglers in the LEC path from top to bot. Sheo's path from bot to top. Isma probably assumes that because he doesn't actually have full information. And so this is why that mid prio is super important in this early game.
Didn't push Spellfield. Still got the crab. Okay.
And I think now Vi, just going to run straight to the bot river. It means that small tempo advantage to Sheo because he's going to get to go back to base first, and he can already start moving towards his bot side and start clearing those camps. But aside from that, nothing too significant.
Well, that was all the action we're going to get for the next couple minutes, so hope you guys enjoyed that
I'm glad.
Vi
I need a breather. Yeah. That was crazy.
We were talking earlier, was it like Broken Blade had like the most damages dealt of any top laner ever? We might see least damage dealt from any jungler in the first 15 minutes of the game. We got one Vi Q, and that is it so far.
I mean, it's really level 6 that both of these team comps come alive. But I also wonder if it's a little bit, you know, the nerves, elimination game. You don't want to mess up the early game and ruin your game too early. But I do think once Sheo hits level 6 with the Aurora ult, that's when I'm starting to think that Team Heretics has more firepower than GIANTX. While you do have the Taliyah ult to move to side lanes, I think in a 3v3 and a 2v2, I'm really going to favor that Aurora Nocturne Rakan.
Really want to execute that first combo, though. The early levels, the ulti from the Nocturne is just such a long cooldown. As we see, Jhin cut out a little bit here, just trying to force the wave in. Ice and Stend there in time to catch. So we have a TP down to the bottom lane from Noah.
Pretty decent CS lead from Team Heretics. It's equal right now, but you can see the Ice has 4 or 5 minutes to clear out. And especially considering GIANTX have Varus, who's a stronger early game champ than Jhin, and also they got the counter pick in the Bard. Pretty good early laning phase by Team Heretics bot lane so far.
That it is. Sheo still spotted on a ward, so they know that he's much closer to level 6, as we see Isma trying to catch up. Should tick over to 5 here on the Raptors. And again, a slow, calm waiting game. See, one of the things we were going to talk about was bot lane, but I think we just wait. We can save it. The Analyst desk highlighted it so well. Bot lane is important, and right now they're not the center of attention. Instead, it's around the mid lane as a Vault Breaker out, the Fear. Jackie's retreating a bit here. Team Heretics not going to wait for level 6, going against expectations.
So I was keeping my eyes on the river just because of the crab respawn, and you'll notice that Krugs have respawned for both, but top is for Sheo and bot is for Isma. To completely forgo this, he's just going to start off the dragon. Sheo wants to contest this, doesn't want to give it over for free. Vi going to disengage. But the reason why that was important is because we talk so often about that 530 breakpoint, getting the upgraded smite, securing your camps, contesting that second respawn of the crab. And the fact that it's on the top side, you can see the pings now coming through from Heretics saying, I can do my Krugs into that bot crab. And I like this idea from Isma to basically say, okay, well, I know the crab is top side. I need to kill my Krugs. So you know what? I'll just start the dragon off. If he actually paths towards top, I'll get an uncontested dragon, easy peasy. Or I'm going to waste his time, because now he has to come contest the dragon. And look, he's already been able to go back to base, and Isma can now get back out onto the map a little bit ahead. And I wonder if he's even in a position to contest that crab. Pings are coming down.
No. Just now getting to mid wave. You can see Serin holding the mid lane wave, but that could bite him as he can't really get
going to
first
be here in time.
move.
Looks like Team Heretics doesn't want to contest it.
I mean, credit to Jackies. They managed to get the mid wave in. I'm not sure if Serin decided to freeze it, but gets there and is now in a neutral lane state as Isma starts the crab. So yeah, free crab. Well played.
But yeah, this all comes back from that dragon sequence where by Isma starting it, forcing the Nocturne to come and deal, it meant that Isma could go to his Grugs, clear them, base, get back out on the map quicker, and ultimately he created a tempo advantage, allowing him to find that small skull of crab, and now he's going to get 6 first.
Yeah, I was a bit puzzled that Sheo didn't decide to contest him, but I think it was the item lead that you touched on there, Vedi, due to the fact that Isma got that base off while Sheo didn't. As the game returns to a state of normalcy, and we'll continue just pushing in minions.
Let's not call slow the normal state. Let's not do that. We don't want to set expectations that way. It's the calm before a storm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's a deep fire burning inside both these teams. They're barely able to hold themselves back.
I mean, I think for this dragon, I could definitely see some fighting happening, especially since Stend will soon hit level 6, and then you have that full wombo combo.
I have a feeling. And Jack, I don't know if you get these feelings yet, but Vedi, I know you do. It's like spider sense for games where nothing is going to happen.
Yeah.
It's tingling.
Yeah.
I feel like 30-minute first blood. It feels like a 30-minute first blood kind of game.
Youngin sitting over here being like, I reckon they'll contest the dragon. I'm like,
you would think that.
You would think that.
But when teams play a little scared on stage in the LEC, it often goes hand in hand with, really not bloody early games.
But also, like, the awkward thing for Sheo is that his camps keep bringing him topside. So he starts the clear on bot, paths up towards top. His bot lane gets prio, mid has control still, and Sheo's not in the vicinity to trade. So the more likely thing is the dragon for grubs. That's very much what I expect, especially given that Rumble now comfortably getting that push in the top lane should enable Sheo to secure these grubs pretty much uncontested. But we'll see if Isma has anything to say about it. I expect him to do the dragon, then move back into his own jungle, clear that bot side, head on over to those grubs, Sheo, and then it'll be that simple cross map. See that tingling right there?
There you go.
You're right.
Anti-conflict. They don't want anything to do with it.
In the early game. I do think for this trade, before I felt like it was more favored towards the grub team, but now, I don't know what happened, but Drakes just feel like they're the name of the game. So I'm liking this from GIANTX, being able to pick up that first dragon and start the stacking, especially when it's a Chemtech Drake, so you know that it's not going to be the Chemtech Soul, and you'll most likely have a pretty damn good soul.
This is just my take.
Yeah.
But doesn't it feel like that 6 grubs, well, 5, felt actually quite meaningful? Like it did a decent amount of damage.
I agree.
But 3,
it's
it
kind of
just
whatever.
doesn't. It just kind of, I don't know, they don't feel
It's like
the
a
same.
win more. It's like if you're already winning, it's good, but it doesn't swing the game in the same way.
Yeah.
Do you guys think it's just a bigger number?
Oh, fight.
Oh, paranoia. An isolated Vi, immediately going to flash. Okay, ulti for flash, but now Isma's thinking about re-engaging. There's a Weaver's wall coming in. Ice just burned his 4-shot. Knockup coming in onto the Nocturne. This is not going to send to the wall. My God! Flawless CC!
And GIANTX are ready to back Isma up as he's able to take down Sheo with 4 ultimates being burnt there. And they take Sheo down. He doesn't have time to flash. And I believe Crab, did it go over to Isma as well?
Yeah, it was secured by Sheo, actually.
Okay.
He got the smite, and that was the cost, his life.
Yeah,
so overall, yeah, absolutely. The question I had was, why make this engage in the first place? Like, Nocturne is not going to stop a Vi here. And I felt like that it was super ambitious for them to try. The reality is that it's much easier for GX to collapse quicker. They only had their bot lane available. The Aurora can't collapse in the same way that the Taliyah can, and with the numbers advantage, GX find an easy pickup.
And this is something that you mentioned when we talked about these compositions. Jack, you brought it up as well. Once you go in, you can't go out. So while it's nice in your head that, oh, you can trade your ulti for a flash if you just got out scot-free, that's not a bad trade, right? It doesn't hurt too much. Unfortunately, Jackie's has a semi-global. He can re-engage. He can ensure that that trade continues. And at that point, all the major resources for Team Heretics were gone. Serin wasn't able to get involved. And losing that first Nocturne ult, yeah, it's a really big feels bad.
I think how Team Heretics needs to play this team comp is more around Serin and having Ice be the supporting member. You could see that Ice in that fight was there and present, but that's not really how Jhin wants to play as Stend.
Stend, waiting for someone to jump to. Does have Sheo there in the area. Good presence of mind from Sheo to make sure he could move down. Ward spots them out, and they know he's on Gromp, and now difficult for Ice to walk too far forward here. He's just going to take a bit of free poke.
Also, something we didn't touch on earlier is Jackie's chose to go the unsealed spellbook on Taliyah. I'm not sure if I've ever seen this before, but curious to his thought process, just getting more summoner spells, but we'll see. GIANTX still looking to contest this.
That
is so annoying. Just as your base.
Oh, and the flash.
That is really annoying. That would be really annoying right now if I was Ice.
He didn't. I don't think he needed to fly. I think he could have just tanked that. He saw Taliyah move. Taliyah doesn't have ult.
You don't understand.
That's an
This
insane
is a do or die match.
I understand
if
the pressure.
If he dies in game, he dies.
I'm saying good bluff, but I think Ice needs more ice in his veins in this case because there's no follow-up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite surprised that GX was able to get so much off the back of that. I mean, I have many thoughts right now. And
you can say that.
I'm trying to pick which one to articulate. The things that concern me right now. Okay, we can debate that this is actually both a pro and a con.
Okay.
The pro, Noah is fed. The con, it's the Varus.
That's true. Pro, Sheo has ulti and he's getting fights picked off. The Aurora ulti is there, but the flickback does manage to hit. Serin still is able to get over the wall in time. Isma getting chunked out. Serin grabbing the first kill, gets the reset, tossed between worlds, and able to escape. The Weirding will also poke him out. So there you go. There's the follow-up onto Isma after the previous play where they got the flash, evening things up.
Well, I mean, it's a good pick from Heretics. It's not going to convert into much. They got the Scuttle Crab. I wish that it like translated into more. I mean, he's going to respawn in time for the next Dragon Spawn in 40 seconds.
Then the question is, both sides, they decide to use the Varus ult and the Vi ult versus Nocturne and Aurora ult. And both of them will be down for the Drake spawn.
That's true, yeah.
So I would say that probably favors the Vi Varus.
The team, the not Nocturne.
You're really not sure, are you?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I mean, both teams are so ult-reliant.
Yeah.
It's rare that you see these kind of team comps that are so similar go up against each other.
I mean, I do think it favors GX, mainly because of the poke.
Yeah.
They have tools even without their ults in that they have Taliyah and they have Varus. And this Varus is fed. The fact is, he's already completed his Ghost Blades. When setting up around an objective like this, if the Nocturne doesn't have ulti, there's not really a lot that you're afraid of. And so GX, they're just going to start this one off.
Yep, looks like GIANTX agree with you, Vedi, as well with Sheo. Having that distorted pathing to Isma, he's clearing his top camps while Isma was bot side. It's going to be second Dragon to GIANTX here, able to start that Dragon stacking. We'll see the Soul is a Cloud Soul, really valuable this game to buy space against both of these full engage comps.
You know, I do wonder if we go all the way back to level 1, if the plan from Sheo was to actually create a split map.
Yeah.
And try and invade on the bot side, because if he'd succeeded, how different this game could have looked. How, if he'd been able to take all those bot camps away from Isma, assuming that was even his plan, because we've talked extensively in the early game how him constantly having to path to top due to his spawn rotation has had a pretty significant impact on his ability to both cover and impact early game objectives on the bot side of the map. Regardless, 1 minute now until the Herald. This will be a big point of contention, I have to feel, for Heretics in particular, because while GX don't have a meaningful golden lead out of now, they are in a position of power. They've gotten their Varus to a comfortable spot. No Nocturne ultimates have been thrown onto this Varus as of yet. He hasn't really been put under any pressure. Same can be said for Jackies. So both these champions have kind of had a free, comfortable early laning phase. And I think Heretics need to try and get something off the back of this comp around this neutral.
And this is a good position for them to do it in. Sheo's not quite level 11, but he does have the Hex Plate. Both him and Serin have access to the Flash. Noah is now using the TP. Move up, be a little bit more present around this objective contest, but they really have all of the tools. Noah doesn't have a full completed item in advantage. This should be the best window of opportunity Heretics are going to get for at least the next few minutes.
But the tough part about this Team Heretics comp is they don't have the front line to just take space.
Yep.
If they're going to take the space, it needs to be an instant fight, and you see how GIANTX are using that to just constantly take full space and full prio of river. And you see Jhin is not scared. He knows that if you guys go on me, you have to full send it, in which case I'll just portal out, and that's Isma starting the Herald.
Nocturne still not getting level 11. He would have loved to get that. I mean, he's still ways away from it. He's going to have to commit that level 1 ulti. The Herald's going down, though.
2.7, 1.4. They've already smited it away. Team Heretics seem like they still might want to force a fight, and that's frustrating. I think they know that was their window of opportunity, that they needed to force a fight, but the Herald went down so fast that it just disappeared in the blink of an eye.
But so hard, if they don't get that good opportunity, there's nothing to go for. They can't go for the first target, because if they do, they're already fully committed, and it's going to be bad for them because GIANTX can be the one to just run them down. So they really need to find either Jackies or Noah caught upside, and then they can look to run them down and start the fight that way, because otherwise they just don't have the damage.
I mean, we're seeing the challenges that come with the Heretic composition. On paper, it seems like a nice idea, right? Your ability to basically neutralize what is, I guess you could describe as a 2 damage threat. Obviously, Vi does her fair share of damage, but when you look at Taliyah Varus, that's where the bulk of your DPS is going to be coming from in the fights. And so when you have so many damage threats, threatening that backline, in theory, making it impossible for them to play is a nice idea. But GX are taking advantage of all of the weaknesses of this Heretics composition in that, number one, once they commit, they have to hard commit. So if we just play the fight slow, we can get them better on the re-engage. And the fact that they can easier leverage their pushing lanes, because it's so difficult for Heretics to, as Jack was saying, reclaim the space that has already been taken.
Well, and I think what makes it worse is, we talked earlier about the Summoner Spellbook. We've got an Exhaust on Jackies, as well as Seraphs, and now the additional Magic Shield coming through. He's pretty impossible to kill, and that 3 to 4 seconds where you want to one-shot someone, he just exhausts whatever your biggest damage threat is. And right now it's not clear, right? A lot of people on 1.5 items, but it gets much easier to make that decision as you move later in the game, and it doesn't get easier for Team Heretics to find this angle.
The good news is, Ice, he's going to be bounced away, but the tower will fall. The good news is that Heretics do always have that win condition of, if they successfully fire the shotgun, they will find a way to swing this game. But so far, GX has not given them an opportunity to, well, to aim and shoot.
And I want to highlight what you said about Jackie Straight, because I wasn't thinking about it, but probably he went Spellbook mostly just to have access to that exhaust, to be able to exhaust whoever goes first, if it's Tracyn, Sheo, or Serin. And
it's barrier as well.
Barrier as well. Yeah, he does have a lot of good options to help his team out. And we also see Proto Belt on Serin, which is quite interesting. I mean, it's a very cheap item. I know Chovy's been building it, and that's kind of made everybody.
It's exactly that. Basically, Chovy's been buying Proto Belt on a bunch of champs. I mean, we saw it on Azir yesterday from Jojo.
Yep.
And so it does seem like that's similar to when we saw Chovy building Rylai's last year. Everyone was like,
okay,
that's a great idea.
I like it though because it's universally accepted, right?
Yeah.
If Chovy built, we don't need to provide any more analysis than that. We're like, guys, Chovy built it. And they're like, ah, cool. We trust that guy. Seems to know his way around mid lane.
I feel like we were using it more as a critique. Like the pros are not thinking. Like
no, I'm not gonna. No, please. What's the better option?
Do the math, Tell us how Chovy's
Do the
wrong.
math, Jack.
Yeah, go on. You tell us.
Tell us.
No.
Youngin, again.
Hold on, guys. Jackspektra's going to tell us he's smarter than Chovy, guys. Hold on. It's happening. All right, third Drake is here. Another advantage for GX, obviously, when they set up.
All right, here we go.
Take their sweet time.
Come on, Heretics. Show us that shotgun.
All 5 ultis on the table for Team Heretics. 7 seconds to tell GX get access to 2 of theirs. Ice off to
Here
the
we
side.
go.
Paranoia coming down. Stend going over the wall. Immediate charm going to come through. The curtain call as well. Isma deleted right as the fight kicks off. The third Drake should be theirs, but now Stend is giving his life. Noah still living for an extra moment as Jhin sidesteps the fourth shot. Exhaust down onto Sheo. Tempered fade onto 2. Lot waiting for the setup to flip back. Not quite in time, but the third Drake still manages to go to GX. Now they're on the retreat. Overall, a pretty close fight, but the Drake belongs to the Giants.
The smite came down a little too early from Sheo, allowing for Jackie to actually steal that one away amidst the chaos. I like the target selection from Heretics. Remove the jungler, remove the smite, but the fight doesn't quite go the way they want.
I mean, the shotgun came out here and they were able to one-shot Isma without him even being able to use his ultimate. But then I think it's some of the missed bullets from Ice here. He hits one on the Sion, and then Noah flashes the second, and then the fourth misses as well. I think if one of those hits either Jhin or Noah, this fight could have gone differently, but they just don't have the damage to kill Lot on this Sion after they've used all their ultimates, and GIANTX forced some flashes and forced them away.
Did I see Dragon go down to 1 HP?
Yeah.
Was that literally 1?
Yeah.
Oh, God. That's, yeah, that's a little bit rough. Even the Drake taking it. Oh my God, some of these are savage. That's ruthless. All right, well, soul point for GX, exactly where they want to be. They have beautifully survived the shotgun so far. Isma's died twice, but again, not the key damage dealer. He does have 2 items, don't get me wrong, but if Jackies and Noah are allowed to play out these extended fights, it's not looking super hot, especially as Ice still probably now will have the IE at the very least, but he's not killing Lot with that Infinity Edge.
Definitely not. He needs that LDR, but probably he will look to go rapid fire third, just for that added range. It's very common on Varus, on Jhin to do. And that means that it delays his armor pen by quite a bit, and Serin as well on this Aurora. Not doing a whole lot of damage to the front line, so it makes it a really easy game for Lot to buy space and buy time. And it's really all on Noah and Jackies to make sure that they don't get one-shot. That's also why Noah decided to go for the Edge of Night, and Jackies went for the Seraphs to just have more survivability, as GIANTX are looking for a top lane.
Power shutdown, timing. They're waiting on the flick as long as possible. Wave getting deleted by the Equalizer, but Tracyn's getting deleted even faster. The fall push won't be there because of the rumble off with the kill. Still going to GX.
I mean, it's a clean dive, but they've committed 5 people, which allows for Heretics to cross map. You can see the Nocturne pushing down the mid lane tower. Same can be said in the bottom lane, where Serin is trying to do what damage he can. The question is, can GX actually secure that top tower? Will this bot one be locked in? It looks like the bot one's going to get locked in first. Yeah, so first tower advantage ends up going over to Heretics. The gold overall remains even. Most of the gold advantage was sitting on Tracyn. After that death, it will equalize that top gap a little bit more. Ultimately, the gold is very even, but it does feel, based on how the comps are playing, that GX are the ones in control of this game, especially given that Soul is 2 minutes away.
Yeah, and we've already seen Jhin pick up McHale's luxury item for sure, but it looks like a locket is on the way as well, just to shut down even more of that AoE burst. So the Isma, probably a person, this is the other struggle, is in a dragon fight. If GX are first on the objective, you probably want to try and kill Isma to take away the smite, but if you do, you probably lose the ensuing fight.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in. That's why those 3 dragons are doing a lot of heavy lifting right now for GIANTX. As maybe they can look for a pick here on mid lane.
Multi going in, immediate charm, perfectly set up CC, shut down onto Noah. Now GX maybe looking to convert on a follow-up fight because Sheo's going to trade his life for that pick. Serin throwing down an ulti of his own, tempered fate onto Ice. Q coming through from Isma, timing not quite right, but Ice going to go down all the same. GX taking 2 in return.
And that's this shotgun comp. You kill one, but you don't have any more damage after that. They take down Noah, but you see there's just no fuel left in the tank. Sheo and Ice both end up falling, and it's starting to feel dire for Team Heretics in this game.
I like that GX turned it into a fight. They didn't just let their AD carry die and then say, maybe we can trade something else. They actually brought the fight to Heretics knowing, hey, they're out of resources now.
True.
Yes, our AD carry falls, but let's actually look for the re-engage. And if you look at the minimap, you can see pings mid, pings mid, pings mid. GX desperately trying to get to their mid lane as quickly as possible. They turn their attention onto Sheo. They know he's got no way out. And then the Bard ultimate from Jhin to set up for the follow-up, along with the Taliyah to be able to collapse. GX create that numbers advantage and turn the fight in their favor.
This is the Jhin Bard that I know and love. I mean, he's having a really good game here, and it's so easy for him to play now, especially with Ice still not having flash for this soul fight. I'm looking at Jhin and see if he can get another Bard ult just like that.
Setup is there. Control as well as they push their vision line steadily forward. Lot in the mid lane, just ensuring the push, and you could see in the previous fight how much space Lot can create. No one can really walk through him. Serin and Ice were alive in that fight, but just don't have the damage. They've built to kill squishy targets, so need to find the right angles to make sure they're hitting the appropriate members, as GX have set up, hoping for 4 people to wander into this particular brush, although that happens very rarely. I wish I could say it happens never, but happens very rarely.
I really like what GIANTX are doing. They're matching Team Heretics. They know that Team Heretics can't play through mid. They don't have a tower there. So they're just sitting in the bush, trying to poke them out, trying to make their life miserable as Team Heretics are trying to enter. You see Stend getting poked, Ice getting poked. And they do have a flank, but disengaged, it's all or nothing.
Jackie's waiting over the wall. Ulti comes up for the Nocturne, but GX go first. Now he's trying to escape. He dies midair. All the damage is going onto the tank, which is right where GX wanted to go. The Drake is going to fall. It'll take a miracle. The Equalizer's not in range. That's Soul for GX. And now Tracyn is in trouble as Noah, alongside Jackie's going to pick up the follow-up kill.
Excellent control from GX. They make sure that Heretics have no means of accessing the river through the bot lane. They cover for the flank, spotting out the Nocturne with a good control ward. The Varus ultimate connects, and it's just smooth sailing from there.
I mean, an absolute masterclass of just showing why having control of an objective is so pivotal. And we see that Team Heretics team comp, they don't have what it takes if they get split up like that. Sheo doesn't have a good target to go on. GIANTX, they get the Soul, they get the Nash. Game is starting to feel very much in GIANTX's hands.
That it is. The curtain call here. Lot there to body block, though. Sheo going to arrive the pit just a little bit too late, as once another objective goes over to Jackie's. I think he had Smite this time, though, as I see his flash very rapidly refreshing.
We'll look back at the play, and again, that control ward just offering so much value. Noah's ultimate connects, the spell shield doesn't come through in time, and while he does ult to try and get to safety, it's a desperate play.
I mean, I think a lot of people, they will look to criticize Sheo from there, but you have to think of it from his POV. It's easy as the spectators. We can see what HP the Dragon is on, but he's working with no intel, no info, so he knows that they're going to do the Soul at any moment. Now I need to walk up, but if he does, he dies, and if he doesn't, they get the Soul. It's a lose-lose situation for him, and it's why it's so difficult for Team Heretics to play this game.
Now, though, we have a bit of an engage in the mid lane. Noah able to flash out. Equalizer going a little bit wide. The fear is still there, but the root comes in clutch, and Sheo goes down. Noah still living. Ember Fade not quite enough, but Jhin is a fast boy. Flashes, gets the lock up onto Tracyn. The follow-up CC is there. Another kill to the side of GX, and this might just be the victory march.
I mean, you'd think that bringing a shotgun to a bow and arrow fight would work in your favor, but the man's empowered by the Darkin, and it looks like that they're hunted for more.
That's more than enough as Serin trying to get tricky with it. Will move out, just barely dodge the Unraveled Earth as he goes back in onto Jackie's. Overall, though, GX,
They're so fast. They're just moving speed from the cloud, so they're just running around and running loops around Team Heretics. As they pick up this mid tower, they can look to convert it into top as well and just continue their relentless siege.
And gentlemen, we're running out of silver lining. Jhin didn't even stop for a locket. He went for the Bandle Pipes. Doesn't even need the locket.
It's a situation where I think Heretics had a promising baseline with the Rumble plus the Jhin. I think that the last Jarvan ban from GX was a very good one. The way that I see this is once you've got the Varus locked in, your intention is very much to have that lockdown to make it very difficult for the Varus to play. But by removing it and by choosing to go for the Aurora earlier so they could have a good matchup in mids, I think that it ultimately didn't work out in their favor. The Aurora was never able to get prio, and quite frankly is often outranged against the Taliyah. The Nocturne is so committal that I think GX had all the tools in the world to deal with it, and they played around it appropriately. And Heretics are facing the consequences of their draft, so I think in Game 2 they really need to adjust and, quite frankly, simplify their approach, because right now GX is just playing the map and have played the other game much better than their opponents.
I think the way you can think about their first 3 picks, this Jhin, Rumble, and the Aurora, is they're all very non-committal. Like, the nice part about the Jhin Rumble combo is you just both start ulting and you can run them down that way. And same with the Aurora. Like, yeah, she goes in, but she has so much mobility that she can kind of do whatever she wants. But then you end up locking in this Nocturne Rakan, and then your comp kind of shifts. Because now it's not a comp that can play slow anymore. It's a comp that can only go forward and only do it all at once, or it's nothing. So
Ulti's going in all at once as predicted. Ulti's set up beautifully, but now they've got a Sion there to body block the flick back. Noah now on a rampage.
Oh,
Noah's still alive, as is Jackie's.
I mean, the peel from Jhin, you can see how hard they counter that. It's a miserable time for Team Heretics. GIANTX are playing how they should, and they're making it so difficult for Team Heretics to try to kill any of these carries. Serin
tries to get the combo through the stealth, but it won't come through.
I thought Serin had ulti there. I think if he had ulti there, that could have been a miracle play, but I mean, he doesn't.
But this is a wallet diff play. Look at those health bars. If they're even in gold, if they're a little bit closer overall, they have enough extra damage to finish those kills, despite the fact that Jhin did a good job of body blocking, as did Lot. So frustrating for Team Heretics when they finally find an angle that looks good. It's just too late. The deficit's just too big.
And it's funny, we talked about Noah needing to buy Zhonya's, but he doesn't really need to buy it if Jhin just ults him every fight.
That's
and then
true.
you have Zhonya's on Jackie's as well, and then it's like, who is Team Heretics going to go on?
Now, I don't know how valuable this is for Noah, but fun fact, when you press the R on Nocturne, it will pop that Knight's Edge, which means that Noah in the fight won't be blind, which I don't know how helpful that is.
It's really helpful for Jhin if he
to
wants
be
to
blind.
lean over and check the PC. That much is for sure. As Stend is dead. Oh no, the follow-up kill might be here as well. The flip back not quite perfectly timed, but it does not matter. Double kill there as Isma's able to get one in return, and now Lot does not care about the tower damage whatsoever as the Weaver's wall is coming down. Ice running for the hills. The flick will land. The Rylai's ensuring that it does. Ulti coming out from Serin, but he can't get to the wall in time. No, yes he can! Just barely. Jhin wants to finish the kill. GX want to finish the game. It's Noah who is unstoppable on this Varus. 6-1-6, an entire composition that was supposed to headshot him, that was supposed to find him, put a bounty on his head and take him down, but he only dropped once in the entire game. GX steady and controlled from start to finish, punishing Team Heretics as they close out, or maybe not.
I think they're going to end the game.
I
mean, it was
so.
a nervous, it felt like a nervous, tense early game, but after that, GIANTX just broke through, and it was a domination with the Drake stacking, with the team fights all going in their favor as they're picking up some kills at the finish line, unless Team Heretics does a heroic base defense here. I mean, Ice would need to get another pentakill for them to really get out of this one. He is spawning, but
Nexus exposed, surely the
HP
game
bars are
ends.
too
He's only got 4 bullets.
big. I mean, he's doing no damage to the sound.
Yeah, he does. Oh no. The tickler. There you go.